We have one job tonight, or a few jobs. One of those jobs tonight is to raise money to support our sister, again, Vice President Kamala Harris. So in the chat, you all will be getting a link to donate. We know last night our sisters with Win with Black Women raised over $1.5 million. And brothers, we know we can either match that or exceed that tonight. We want to make sure we have our sisters' backs. And so tonight we're going to be asking each and every one of you all to step up and contribute money to support our Vice President Kamala Harris, as she seeks to become the first woman, first Black woman, first Asian American woman to win the White House. We have a huge threat in front of us in Donald Trump. You'll hear more about that tonight. But major kudos to Roland Martin, to the Honorable Michael Blake, to all the organizers of tonight, attorney and CNN commentator Bakari Sellers, Khalil Thompson, all the folks on the Biden-Harris campaign, including Trey Baker and folks at the CBC, Vincent Evans, all of you all. Thank you all so much for tonight. We have a few thousand brothers on the line now. We're going to get up to hopefully 10, 20, maybe 50,000 brothers tonight. So if you are watching, please post the link on Facebook, on Twitter. Let everybody know to join this conversation right now, because tonight we've got a lot of work to do. So passing it back over to you, Roland.
All right, Quinn. We're having some slight issues here, but hopefully we can sort through those right now. Everybody who's watching, let me be perfectly clear. We've maxed out Streamyard, completely maxed out. We've raised the limit.
Still there? Y'all can hear us?
Totally maxed out. Let everybody know they can watch this by going to YouTube.
So I'm also streaming it live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube as well. I took the lead from the leader, so I sent it out to the links. Y'all on social media, I can share it out too.
What's going on, brother? Good to see y'all.
Yes, sir.
First and foremost, everyone, we just got so much love for y'all. We appreciate you. Of course, Brother Martin, all day, every day. We thank you for everything. For everybody that's watching us right now, Michael Blake, honored to be here. Win with Black Men and what we're doing. Before we keep going, let us show love and honor to our dear sister that we recently lost on this journey, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, who has been a blessing, a titan, and just an incredible visionary for all of us. And the work that we all talk through around reparations, around justice, we say God bless Sheila Jackson Lee and to her entire family. We offer our condolences. To all that are here, to Khalil Thompson, to Quentin James, to everyone that made it happen, of course, to Brother Roland, to Bakari Sellers, everyone that is here tonight, we say thank you, thank you, thank you, because we have 106 days to make sure that Black men are a part of this journey, 106 days to make it very clear that we are not going anywhere. We are here right now, 106 days to remind the country that you cannot make progress without Black men. And that's the reason why when we put this out today, more than 20,000 already are on the line. 20,014 signed up, we got going here. So we want to make sure everybody's engaged. First and foremost, please be aware of the link that is going to be moving out on how you can donate. And again, shout out to both of us, shout out to Collective. Your donation will ensure that we split donations to the campaign to make sure that Vice President Harris becomes President Harris, and to the other Black organizations that are doing the work. Collective, Vote to Live, Win with Black Men, Cairo's Democracy Project, Democracy, all of our respective groups, Black Men Vote, Black Male Voter Project, all of our respective groups, we are here. Sure, we do the work so that we win for our people. Now, when people are out next steps, let's be clear. The Vice President obviously is now taking the steps when it comes to capturing delegates. There are several states, including the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, where they voted their entire delegation to endorse her tonight. We expect that will probably get resolved in the next 1 to 2 days. He will obviously. It has been now publicly announced that a Black man, former Attorney General Eric Holder, is leading the VP nomination process and running around the vetting process. That is critical for all of us to be aware. It is also for us to be mindful of the language that we use. Yes, we have to ensure that she becomes the first Black woman, the first Caribbean woman, the first Indian American woman to become nominee and soon to become president. But let's also make sure we're mindful. They will try to make this a conversation where they talk about a computer versus something else. Let's be mindful that we don't want to hear the language that's negative to our brothers. We don't want to hear convicted because had a negative situation on too many of our communities. Let's be very clear. She is absolutely competent, dynamic, inspirational. It is our job as both to support our sisters. So with that, let's be clear about the link itself. So everyone that's listening, if you want to help support the cause, go to right now, secure.actblue.com/donate/TCP-Kamala. Again, one more time. Hear me, focus, everybody. Secure.actblue.com/donate/TCP-Kamala. That is the link that we want for you to donate. So we show what is possible. You've already seen what's happening. Our sisters were incredible. More than $1.5 million they raised in less than 24 hours. We as brothers have to be part of this effort. Lastly, this all is going to move very quickly. You're going to hear from a lot of speakers on tonight. You're going to hear from Governor Westmore. You're going to hear from CBC Chair, Congressman Stephen Horsford. You're going to hear from CBC PAC Chair, Congressman Greg Meeks. You're going to hear from lieutenant governors and mayors and senators and all the different leaders. But our jobs have to be ensuring we get the message out, we mobilize on the ground, and we keep people engaged. So with that, Brother Roland Martin, we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. It's up on the screen, everybody. If you want to be supportive, that's the link on the screen. $5, $10, $25, $500, $1,000. Do what you need to do, brothers, so that we support our vice president becoming president. It is essential. I go back to knowing her, going back to 2008 when she came and campaigned with her sister Maya, her brother-in-law Tony, for then Senator Obama. The same way she had our back, we have to have her back. So everybody, all the speakers, will continue this from here. Brother Martin, thank you again. And I know next up we have incredible leaders. We're going to have Brother Governor, we're going to have Brother Congressman Chairman Horsford. Stay with us throughout the night, everybody. We'll come back with more call to action. Later on. Thank you and God bless. Brother Roland Martin, back to you.
So explain to people that again we have a link there. So some of the funds are going towards the campaign. Others are going specifically to Black male groups to drive GOTV, the out the vote efforts on the ground in critical states.
Absolutely. Everybody, we want us to internalize this. There's a 7 battleground state that will determine this election. You know, we know the Midwest blue wall of Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. In the South, we have North Carolina and Georgia, and out in the West, Nevada and Arizona. Not saying other states are not critical, but we're just saying in terms of what is happening for get out the vote these battleground states. That said, when you donate, you will ensure that we support our vice president becoming president, and they support Black-led, Black male-led organizations. They're doing the work on the ground, on TV, on digital, all the different outlets. So you're supporting Collective, you're supporting Vote to Live, you're supporting the Kairos Democracy Project, you're supporting Democracy, you're supporting Black Men Vote, you're supporting Win with Black Men, you're supporting Black Male Vote Project. Why? Because too often we are not getting the support to provide additional resources on the ground so that we can knock on doors, so that we can make phone calls, so that we can have the commercials that are directed to us, so that we can have the visualization that is necessary for us. Brothers, you like me are tired of people saying it's not our time. It is our time. Donate, click, be in, so we can make sure that more support happens across our country.
Hey, all right, Michael, we appreciate that. Keenan, do me a favor. Can you please drop the RNU crawl, the Black Star Network crawl? So, folks, we normally, when we do these broadcasts, so we actually have that up on our show all the time. So, Keenan, kill that crawl at the bottom, and let's just keep that a secure donate button there. So if y'all want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered, y'all can Black Star Network. Y'all can go to blackstarnetwork.com. But I only want this donation link to be up at the bottom there. Khalil Thompson, folks, he is our next speaker. He is Executive Director of Win with Black Men. Khalil, how you doing? We have Khalil there. All right. I see Michael. Do we have Khalil? Khalil?
Yeah, Ron, thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor to be. You got me? All right, cool. Just want to say thank you for convening this and working with myself, Brother Quentin James, Brother Michael Blake, Brother Bakari Sellers for getting us all here tonight. As we do, and as I want to give great honor to my parents, Kathy Thompson and Oswald Thompson. I wouldn't be here without both of them. Only in the footsteps of great Black women. Homage to Joteka Edie and the great work that Women with Black Women have done. Women with Black Men is here to stand up and speak for all Black men. Blue collar, white collar, no collar. It doesn't matter what your affiliation is, as long as you're a Black man, you have a voice and a vote, and we want to make sure you exercise both, not only this evening, but also at the ballot box. Truly excited to be here, following up on my already brother, Michael Blake, and then soon to follow up with our Governor Wes Moore. We love the donations that jingle, but to quote a favorite movie, we love the donations that fold. So if you're able to go ahead and click that link right there, secureactblue.com/donate/TCP-com. We truly appreciate it. So the organizations that are doing the work on the ground, Black Men Voter Project, Black Men Vote, Women with Black Men, Black Men Build, Fred Hicks and others on the ground who are working hard. We want to make sure they receive the dollars and continue to do the great work in the communities. Also want to give a big shout out to Pennsylvania State Senator Vincent Hughes, Dr. Amos C. Brown from San Francisco Third Baptist Church, and Harris County Commissioner Rodney Ellis. Thank you so much for joining us, as well as many others who are on this evening. Truly honored to be here and doing this work. Following, obviously, from the work that Blake and Quentin and others and I have done on the Obama campaign and continue to do in the community. Just want to put the challenge out. We are not a monolithic community. We have various different thoughts. I know Brother Martin may like Marvel. I like DC. That's comics, that is. But we all have various different groups.
I don't watch none of them. I don't watch. I watch dramas.
Okay, fair enough. But the point is that while we come from different ilks and different communities, some of us from inner cities, some of us go to tractor pulls, some of us wear cowboy hats, some of us wear Jordans. This is not about where you're from or what community you're in. It's about showing up on November 5th, going out during early voting, participating in your civic duty. I know many of us would call back on our ancestors who have literally died to get us here in this point so that we can vote freely. Not necessarily going down that road, but so many have given so that we can be here and having this conversation openly tonight. We have the momentous opportunity to elect and watch the baton given to hopefully the first Black female president. I have an amazing young daughter who is 7 years old. Got to meet her just a couple of weeks ago. And I am honored to be on here tonight with all of you. I am hoping we do 40, 50, 60,000 Black men who are joining this call, either here in this space or on YouTube. I hope we can match what our Black sisters have done. I know throughout tonight, we are going to hear where the dollars are going. So continue to let them flow in, continue to let them sign up. I would be remiss as an organizer if I did not lead with one call to action, not only by donating. We need you to visit not only Women with Black Men, but other Black male organizations, other groups that are out here and organizing around the country. Sign up for a shift. Go out and knock on a door. Talk to your brethren when you're at the shop, getting your haircut and getting lined up. When you're in getting your car washed or detailed at the tail end of this summer, make sure you talk to somebody about voting. Make sure you not only bring to the table what you bring on the court or in the office, you bring in that voting booth that same passion. So again, we're asking each and every one of you, find 5 friends in your community, 5 friends in your neighborhood, 5 friends on your block that you know that may be disenfranchised and may not want to vote. Convince them that it is about voting in this election for your community. You have governors, lieutenant governors, state senators, state representatives, officials, municipal officials, community organizers that are on here who are doing the work in there. We need you to show up and elect and hire people that we're going to hold accountable. So we're asking you not only to give, but at least find 5 people on your block and in the shop that you can talk to about voting this election cycle. Women Black Men is here to support you. Much like others, we have our Shape It Up conversations that we're doing around the country. We look forward to seeing you. We just saw Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist in Detroit a couple of weeks ago, and we're excited to see others on the road. Roland, I give it back to you. I know we're going to kick it to
I got you. Well, first of all, Cleo, since you said wear cowboy hats, I went ahead. I'm from Houston, so I went ahead and grabbed my hat since you went ahead and said that. So I gotta represent the Black Cowboys. So we appreciate that. Folks, we started this call literally 20 minutes ago. We have already raised $130,000. Brothers, y'all are doing this thing already. And so we already hit $130,000. And our next guest, he knows how to raise money. He knows how to get them fired up. And he's one of the baddest brothers. And yes, he's a member of the coldest and the boldest fraternity of them all, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Put y'all hands together, brothers, for the governor of Maryland, Governor Westmore.
What's going on, Frat?
All good, brother.
What's going on, everybody? I'm thrilled to be on here. And first, let me just say to the folks who are putting this on, Brother Roland, Brother Blake, another good Alpha Alpha man, Brother Khalil, Brother Bakari, and Brother Quentin, and everybody on here. I just want to say how much I appreciate you and how thankful I am for you, because I know that when we mobilize, we win. There's just no stopping it. This becomes an unbelievable and immovable force when we all mobilize and you can get fired up about what we know is the mission at hand. And I'm telling you, I got a chance to see this firsthand in our campaign, that it's really because of your love and because of your support and because of your push that I'm standing here right now as not just the 63rd governor of my state, but the first African-American governor in the history of the state of Maryland and only the third African-American ever elected governor in the history of this country. When we mobilize, we move mountains. Now we have a new mission, y'all. We've got to make sure that we are mobilizing for our vice president, for Kamala Harris, who has stood by us, supported us, lifted us up, and it's important that she knows that she has an entire army behind her. And I'll just say, very, very briefly, I have had the joy of working very closely, hand in hand, with her as one of our country's chief executives. I've had a chance to see her in the trenches. And one thing I believe deeply is I never learned anything about anybody in times of ease. Anything I ever need to know about somebody, watch them when times are hard. Watch them when it's difficult. Watch how they work when the pressure gets turned up. And that's when she is at her best. We've got 100 days to go out there and make sure that we are going to protect the future for our children, protect the future for our families, protect the future for our communities, protect the future of our neighborhoods by making sure that we have a president of the United States who sees us, believes in us, and who honors us. And that is Vice President Kamala Harris. And so I'm so grateful for each and every one of you, not just for what we're going to do tonight, but what we're going to do tomorrow, what we're going to do next week, what we will do until Election Day to make sure that the honor of those and the promise of those who came before us is seen and heard and respected. And the honor and the promise of those who will come after us will be seen and heard and respected. And how we move in this moment, it will be remembered. And so I'm so grateful for each and every one of you brothers for stepping up and saying, we got her, in the way that she and frankly, Black women have always had us. It's our time. And we have to make sure we don't miss this moment and we get this moment right. So God bless y'all. Thank you for everything you continue to do. And let's go ahead and win this thing in November. When we mobilize, we are an immovable mountain. And it's our time to get it right.
Pat, I appreciate it. You're absolutely right. That's one of the reasons why I decided to break out this shirt. This was given to me 2 years ago by the ground game folks, Georgia Stand Up. And if y'all can't see it, what the shirt says, it says right here, elect Black women, fund Black women, believe Black women, invest in Black women, follow Black women, defend Black women, hire Black women, promote Black women, and bottom, stand up and vote for Black women. So Georgia Stand Up, I appreciate that. Again, Governor Westmore, my brother, thanks a bunch. Continue a great job, and we'll see you out there the campaign trail.
You know you will. You know you will. God bless y'all.
Appreciate it. Joining us right now, folks, he is the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, hailing from Nevada, and also a frat brother of mine, Congressman Stephen Horsford. Congressman? Congressman Stephen Horsford.
Hello.
There we go. Congressman, looks like you're in the car, but you're live. Go ahead.
Hello, Brother Martin. Great to be with all of you. Thank you to Brother Blake and Brother Bakari, Sellers, and all the organizers. Look, I'll be brief. I'm headed back to the Capitol to honor former Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, who we lost over the weekend. But I'm standing in unity with brothers and sisters all around the country for our Vice President, Kamala Harris. She is the most prepared and qualified person to win this nomination, to defeat Donald Trump, and to govern for the next generation of leaders. This is an opportunity for all of us to play our part in making sure that we advance economic opportunity and wealth. I'm proud as chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. This has been the center of our agenda around work, wages, and wealth for the brothers in labor, for the brothers that are starting their own businesses, to the brothers that are in corporate America. This is an agenda that lifts all of us up. And we have been working with the Vice President on her Economic Opportunities Tour to lift up this agenda. And I know that she is committed to closing the racial wealth gap and making sure that we have a seat at the table when she becomes the president, the 47th president of the United States. Now, I represent Nevada and the 4th Congressional District, including Las Vegas. We are a battleground district, and it's going to take all of you to make sure that we not only win the White House, and Nevada was one of the key states that we had to carry in 2020. We'll have to do it again. But also to win the House and to make Hakeem Jeffries the next speaker, the first black speaker of the House of Representatives. And that is as equally as important, because we've got to control the Congress in order to control the agenda to get these bills on the desk of the president when our Vice President Kamala Harris is in charge. So I'm asking every brother tonight to do our part. I'm doing my part. I'm going to donate to Harris for president and to make sure that we are seating her. She's already raised more than $100 million in the last 36 hours. 880,000 grassroots donors have contributed. 40% of them, 60% of them, first-time contributors ever. So the energy, the excitement, the enthusiasm that is behind the movement that is now Kamala Harris is electrifying, and we're going to be a part of it. And I know black women vote, or Win with Black Women, did their part, and I know Win with Black Men will do the same thing tonight. So I want to thank you, Brother Roland. I'm getting ready to head up to the floor, but thank you for allowing me to jump on for a few minutes. And I just want everybody to know the Congressional Black Caucus is 100% behind the Vice President, and we will do everything that we can with the 60 members, the largest in our history, 120 million constituents, a third of the U.S. population, 20 million Black Americans. And we understand that as the conscience of the Congress, this is our moment, this is our time. So let's get out here, let's win, and let's show people that we are unified behind our Vice President, Kamala Harris. Thank you, everybody.
Congressman Horford, great words there. First of all, I have known Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee longer than anybody else, dating back when I was an intern at the Houston Defender in 1990. Her office was right next door to ours. And so certainly our condolences. I was last with you and her at the funeral of Reverend William Lawson in Houston. And so she was indeed a warrior fighting on behalf of all of us. And so she is certainly with us in spirit. And we are going to the Black Star Network. We're going to be definitely live streaming all of her funeral services once they are announced. So we appreciate it. Thank you so very much, sir. Folks, joining us right now, Repairs of the Breach. He is a co-convener, leads the Poor People's Campaign as well. Another alpha brother of mine. I want to go to Reverend Dr. William Barber. I know we have him via audio. Reverend Barber.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we got you, Doc.
Doc, I was just thinking, first of all, thanks to all the brothers that are on, is that the 47th president is a prime number. 47 is a prime number. You can't divide it. And prime numbers only come around every so often. Every so often they're special, but they're transformative. And this is a prime number time. I also want to say to the brothers, as you and I talk often about this organizing, the fact of the matter is, Vice President Harris, she was poised to sign a bill to give 55 million Americans, if it had come to her, it would have been a deciding vote, not sign a deciding vote, a living wage of at least $15 an hour, something that Dr. King had dreamed of. She was ready to sign off on the Voting Rights Act restored. If it had come to her, she would have been the deciding vote. She didn't get that opportunity then, but as president, I'm sure she will get the opportunities that will push those two things, one which will lift over 43% of all African Americans out of poverty and low wages. Just one piece of legislation. And so this is a critical time. And brothers, what I want to say to us as we talk about mobilizing is that there is power in this moment. In North Carolina, when the last election and Trump won North Carolina, he only won by 174,000 votes. But over 1.2 million persons didn't vote, and over 500,000 African Americans. In Michigan, the margin of victory was only 10,000 votes, but over 1 million poor and low wealth voters who are infrequent voters did not vote. In Wisconsin, 20,000, and over 1.3 million infrequent poor and low wage voters didn't vote. In Pennsylvania, the margin of victory was only 40,000 votes, and over nearly 2 million poor and low wage voters did not vote. And African Americans, 60% of African Americans are in that area. The point I'm saying to us, brothers, is that there is this power, there is this remnant. The Bible says there comes a time when a remnant can literally save the nation. There's a time when someone like an Esther figure steps to the plate, steps to the time, and can literally transform the nation. And the remnant out here, enough votes, people are already registered who just need to be moved, who just need to be pushed, that can change this nation. Last point, Roland. In battleground states, where the margin of victory was only 3%, poor and low-wage voters represent over 43% of the votes in that state. My brothers, let's reach out to the brothers. Yes, the brothers in the frat, like me and Roland and Alpha, and another brother in Capital, but let's reach out to the brother in the barbershop, to the brother that digs the ditches, to the brothers that is the janitor, to the brother that's in school, to the brother that's a teacher, to the brothers that are painters, to the brothers that are plumbers, to the brothers everywhere, and lift up a mighty transformative remnant of voters that can change the direction of this nation. It is time. We can do it. And I want to offer a challenge, Roland, and that is that every preacher that can, if we would give $500 a piece, at least to the fund, to empower black men, and to challenge every other pastor that can do that, to do it tonight, or at least by tomorrow. God bless you. Thank you so much. Let's get it done.
Reverend Dr. William Barber, appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Let me give y'all an update. Brothers, we have already raised, we have only been live for 33 minutes, and we've already raised $500,000. Y'all see the number down there? Y'all are killing it. We've got brothers from all over. Pass the word. Please post on social media. Yeah, we are maxed out the StreamYard. That's why we're streaming on YouTube and my Facebook page. Go to youtube.com/Roland S. Martin or go to the Black Star Network app. Tell everybody they can watch this conversation on YouTube. No need to sign in. We still would love for them to go to winwithblackmen.org so we can capture your data. But to watch this, just go to the YouTube channel. You can see all of this here. Joining us right now, he is live calling in from London, England. He is Lieutenant Governor of Michigan, Garland Gilchrist. Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist, welcome to this amazing call. Thousands of brothers all around the country and obviously around the world. You're live.
Hey everybody, it's Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist. I'm repping the great state of Michigan, but I'm talking to you from London, which means it is 1:38 in the morning over here. But I stayed up because I wanted to be part of this powerful conversation, community, and connection, a demonstration and illustration of leadership and unity behind who will be the next president of the United States, and that is Vice President Kamala Harris. I want to thank every brother who has joined here. And I want to thank all of you for inviting others to be part of this, to contribute, to donate your money. And now we need everybody to not only give dollars, but we need them to give their muscle, their resources, their minds, their intelligence, their tenacity to make sure that we do everything within our power to make sure that not only that Vice President Kamala Harris wins, but that we win. And we win when we work together. We work together so we can win together. We win together so we can work together. I'm so excited that the state of Michigan is not only going to be in play, but we have a chance to deliver an electoral victory, the likes of which we have not seen in generations, because we are at a generational moment. All of you understand that we deserve the right to access the dream of health and wealth that exists and burns brightly within every single Black man's soul. That's what we work so hard for. That's what we get so frustrated about when racism and every other form of hatred holds us back from us reaching our full potential. But when we support one another, we can make things happen. And it's that kind of energy we need to bring to this electoral process to make sure that we can make a difference. There are brothers all over the United States of America who will get involved if you talk to them. Every Black man is one conversation away from being engaged in this political process in the way that we have never been engaged in the political process. This is our moment. It's our opportunity. We need to take ownership of this opportunity so we can show leadership going forward. I'm so proud of all of you for being part of this. Roland, I want to thank you for the leadership to bring us all together. Blake, I want to thank you for inviting me. I might be tired right now, but I'm never too tired to put in the work for this movement. I'm never too tired to put in the work for Black people. I'm never too tired to put in the work for the state of Michigan. I'm never too tired to put in the work for our collective future that is better when we are a part of it, because our vision of the future is too big to leave anybody out. Those who stand against us, they see a future so small that it cannot fit Black men. It cannot fit Black women. It cannot fit Black babies. It cannot fit the diverse and beautiful members of our community. But I say to them, like I say to you, we believe in a big, abundant, and bold future where we all have a place, have a role, and can be our best. So, gentlemen, God bless you. It's time for us to get to work. It's time for us to convince every person in our life that this is their moment, that when they say something doesn't matter to them, they say the moments always matter to you when you take ownership of those moments. So challenge them to step up, to stand in, and to stand tall. Thank you for having me on here. Let's make history with how much we bring in and raise here. Let's lay a foundation for all of our leadership as individuals and our leadership as a collective, because there is enough room for all of us to lead us into this future. Thank you so much for having me, y'all. Let's go get it.
All right, so y'all just want y'all to know, you know, he got the blue blazer on and he's like speaking. Y'all, Lieutenant Governor was like, yo, I'm hyped. That's what he was texting me. So it's early in the morning in London, but he is hyped. We appreciate, brother, you being on this call. I last saw you when I was in Detroit when the vice president was there. You're doing a great job there. And so, listen, we got to have a strong ground game in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, in North Carolina, in Wisconsin, in Georgia, in Arizona, in Nevada, in these critical states. And we got other critical elections There are sisters who are running for United States Senate in Maryland. Angela also Brooks. You got Lisa Rochester running in Delaware. So there are opportunities beyond the top of the ticket. So these are great opportunities. You got a competitive Senate race there. Hill Harper is on the call as well, and they're in Michigan. So a lot has happened. Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist, we appreciate it, bro. Thanks a lot.
All right, y'all. Be good.
Appreciate it. Folks, we're going to keep this thing going. Again, you see right here, the donate button is below. Look, we have a goal, but we're not going to give you the number. We want y'all to keep giving. And again, you're supporting the campaign, but you're also supporting Black men's organizations. Do understand, ground game is critical. Many of our organizations do not get the support. A lot of these consultants want to run all the ads on television, but you got to have folks who are making phone calls, who are knocking on doors, who are doing precinct walks. And so that's why your donations are critically important. That's right now. We're going to go to Nevada. See, I know, so I was going to go to Mark Morial, the head of National Urban League, but I think Quentin and the rest of them said, hey, we done had too many alphas speak in a row. So let's go ahead and go to this Kappa. I went to Texas A&M with him. He's the Attorney General in Nevada, Aaron Ford. What's up, bro? You on mute. Come on, Kappa, you on mute.
Yeah, you know what? I was just saying, look, I know it's cold in here, but it's pretty too. I mean, hey, Roland, it's great to see you, man. I'm so proud of you, always proud of you, man. You spearheaded this with your co-host, and I just can't thank y'all enough for putting this on. It's so important. What we're talking about right now, what we're doing right now, the moment that we are in is just too hard for us to grasp. And so we have to stay engaged and we have to continue pushing forward on this. And so, look, I'm not going to tarry long because in about 10 minutes, 6 minutes actually, I got to jump on the Nevada State delegation call. We're meeting, our delegates are meeting. I'm one of the delegates going to Chicago, and we're meeting to talk about committing our delegates. And obviously I'm pushing for Kamala Harris, and I think we're going to pull that out. So I don't have much time to spare, but I did want to jump on and just augment what has already been said. Look, we are in a very crucial moment in our country's history. And right now, I'm so honored to be working with everybody to push this thing forward. I'm just reminded of a handful of songs. You know, I know y'all were talking about Marvel versus DC. You know, Roland, I think you and I have something in common. We both like good music. And there's music out there that has spoken to us for generations. And one of the good songs that I've liked out there by Ice Cube is It Was a Good Day. And sometimes we can get caught up in this concept of thinking it's a good day because we're living in our own little gated neighborhoods, or you know, we're driving our nice cars and we got money in the bank. But the truth is, it's not a good day, right? The song was talking about utopia, and at the very end of that song, Ice Cube wakes up and he says, "Wake up. Let me snap back to reality," and he recognizes we are not in a good day. We're on the precipice of danger. And that's where we are right now, on the precipice of danger. We've been warned about this several times before, with Marvin Gaye asking questions like, what's going on, right? Where he's talking about war, and he's talking about poverty. He's talking about picket lines, and he's talking about brutality. Does that sound familiar to y'all? We're going through the same issues now that our songs have told us about over the course of generations. You know, there was another song out there that, you know, gave a very good directive, and it was simple: wake up, everybody. That's what Paramilk and the Blue Notes told us to do, to wake up everybody. But here's the truth of the matter, y'all. People want you thinking it's a good day. They want to lure you into a sense of complacency, and that's what the other side is doing right now. They want to lure you into a sense of complacency so that you're not asking questions like, what's going on? That's the reason why they are getting rid of books. They're banning books and they're rewriting history because they want you ignorant. They want you complacent. They don't want you asking what's going on. They don't want you woke, y'all. They don't want you to wake up, everybody. They have a war on woke, in fact. And so what we have to continue to recognize is that is nothing but the devil at the end of the day, like my mama would say. They are trying their best to take us backwards. You know, they complain about the word progressive like it's a bad word, but the truth of the matter is the opposite of progressive is regressive, going backwards. And that's what so many of the policies of the other side are trying to do, take us backwards. Don't take my word for it. Look at what they're doing with voting rights, taking us back to before the civil rights era. Look at what they're doing in education. Again, rewriting history and trying to dumb down what has actually happened in our state histories. Don't just take my word for it. Look at what they're doing in reproductive rights. They just took us back 50 years.
Right, right.
At the end of the day, we have to continue to fight and push forward and understand that it's not a good day out there, y'all. We have to ask what's going on and wake up and continue to push forward, because otherwise we are doomed to repeat the bad issues that we've already encountered and experienced. And right now, in the Kamala Harris campaign, we have an opportunity to continue moving forward. I've known Kamala for a handful of years now. She was the very first national candidate to support my campaign for Nevada Attorney General.
Right.
I've seen her so many times. Every time she comes to Nevada, I'm meeting her at the tarmac. I've worked with her. She used to be an attorney general. I'm an attorney general, and I know exactly the work she's had to do in pushing back on predators like Donald Trump. So at the end of the day, we have an opportunity here. We cannot waste this opportunity. We have to raise the money at that ag blue sign right here at the bottom there. We have to support these organizations that have been working so very hard to continue moving us forward. And I, for one, am going to be in there. I'm going to be counted in that number. And I'm so blessed and honored to be here with you. Roland, keep up the good work, my man. All of my friends who are putting this on, I really appreciate y'all. And I'm going to stand with you until we're all done with this thing.
All right, then. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. And Nevada Attorney General Aaron Ford. Thanks a lot. All right, folks. Let me remind all the speakers, we got lots of brothers, literally. We've got folks waiting in the queue to speak. So please keep your comments brief. We would like no more than 2 minutes, because we've got so many people who want to jump on. People are texting me. Senator Raphael Warnock is stuck at the airport. He's trying to get on. Don Cheadle is trying to get on. And so many others are trying to get on. Here's an update. We've now hit $600,000. We've only been live, y'all, for 45 minutes. We've already hit 600,000. Y'all keep giving, keep giving. Wendell Pierce just texted me that said, Hill Harper's text me. John Legend is watching us right now. And so this thing is going. Let's go back to some alphas. Hey, y'all, don't blame me. It's just how it is. Lee Saunders is the president of AFSCME, the American Federation of State, County, Municipal Employees. Let me tell y'all right now, I always give Lee a shout out, because AFSCME was the first sponsor of Roland Martin Unfiltered and the Black Star Network. They were with us for year 2 as well. They were sponsors the first 2 years. This show and this network does not exist if it wasn't for Lee's support. And so, Lee, I always appreciate that. You have the floor.
Thank you, Roland. And let me just say this. We're back to the alphas now. So many speakers that are alpha men. And we're going to turn this around, and we're going to win in November. But let me just say this. It's great to be here with all of you. I am the president of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. We represent 1.4 million workers across the country, 1.4 million members of AFSCME in the public service. And I want to tell you this story real quick. We had a meeting of our board, our executive board, our highest body within our union today. We had a discussion about endorsing Kamala Harris. And before we could even get into the discussion, there was a motion made that we would support Kamala Harris. And it was unanimous, a unanimous vote for Kamala Harris. And I want to tell you this also. I'm the political chair of the FL-CIO. And a number of other unions are endorsing at the same time. We had a meeting of the FL-CIO today. I guarantee you that by the end of the week, the overwhelming majority of the trade unions in this country will be supporting Kamala Harris for president of the United States. And let's not make this difficult. And let's not make this hard. We know what we've got to do. We've got to organize, we've got to mobilize, and we've got to educate our communities. Labor has a program where we're going to the work sites, we're knocking on doors at homes, we're getting to people, looking them eye in the eye and saying that it is too important not to vote. You've got to vote. That's a right that we have, that we cannot give away. And you know, it's so great now because we've got somebody who is going to continue to move this country forward. A sister, an AKA brother, she's a sister of the office. But she's going to move this country forward, but she needs our help. She needs our support. So let me tell you something. Labor needs some help. Now, we're going to be not on those doors. We're going to be going to those work sites, but we need our communities to support us as well, to support Kamala as well. We need you to go to those barbershops. You heard it before. Talk about this in your settings, in your community settings. Move this agenda forward. We know that this is a change moment in our history, and we've got to be a part of it. The trade union movement in this country is a part of it. I am pleading with everybody on this call. Stop the complaining and let's get to work. And if we get to work, guess what? We do what we do best as far as organizing, as far as talking with our community members and our union members. And if we do that, we will win in November. So let's get the job done. And let's start today. Thank you very much.
All right, Frank, I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I got Pastor Rudy McKissick texting me, talking about you need to get some Omegas on here. I mean, my bad, Rudy. I mean, that's just how it is working out. I mean, I'm not controlling the speakers list. They sending me the names. So, Lee, I appreciate it. And so we got some other folk. Again, a lot of people we got coming up, y'all. Don't forget, give to that link right there. Keenan, go ahead and pull that link up. People, this is where you can give. Yo, we are well on our way to $1 million. We want to exceed that. So secure.atblue.com/donate/TCP-combo. And remember that some goes to the campaign, and a lot of that money is going to the grassroots organizations, Black men's organizations who are on the ground. I know, I'm sorry, Kappas, Omegas, Sigmas, and Iotas. Next up is my frat brother, Mark Morial, longtime mayor of New Orleans, also president and CEO of National Urban League. And remember, every person who is speaking here of a nonprofit, they're speaking in their personal capacity on this call. Mark Morial, what's up?
Hey, Roland, good to be with you, brother. 8506 all the way. And I want to emphasize that I am here tonight in my individual capacity. I proudly lead the National Urban League, but tonight I'm in my individual capacity. And I'll be voting for Kamala Harris. I made a personal contribution to Kamala Harris. We must stand with our sister, but we must importantly stand in this moment where the choice is between forward ever or going backward. We know Joe Biden has been consequential, a president who's responded, who's made history, who rescued us from COVID, rescued us from the 15 million people unemployed that Trump left behind. We know that. He put Ketanji Brown Jackson on the Supreme Court. He put Kamala Harris in the vice presidency seat, and thus we have this chance for this moment. Two quick things, Roland, I want to address. Number one, I want to address the absurdity that I heard from someone today about whether, quote, Kamala Harris was ready to be president. Number one, this woman has been an elected official for 20 years. More time than Donald Trump ever served in office, more time than George W. Bush, 43, served in office, more time than many presidents have served in office. And a variety of experience as a smart lawyer, and a district attorney, and attorney general, and a distinguished member of the Judiciary Committee in the Senate, and now 4 years as vice president to a consequential president. That is number one. Let's not engage or allow people to create a double standard for Kamala Harris. Number two, it is absolutely unacceptable for us to suggest there's any legitimacy or rationale in saying, I'm not going to vote. We will not unilaterally disarm. We cannot disrespect the hard work of our fathers and mothers and grandmothers and grandfathers and ancestors, and we can't surrender our power by not using it. It is not a choice to not vote. And if this new candidate at the head of the ticket means anything, we are now energized and the stakes are clear. I believe that tonight, Mr. Trump is shaking in his boots. He'll do anything and everything to avoid a debate with this sister who will call him out for all of his transgressions, for all of his illegal misogynistic activity. We know what we need to do. We have to work in the grassroots. We have to knock on every door. We have to be in every community center, in every church, on every campus. We must light a flame under our community and communities nationwide and build a huge coalition to make this a historic win come November. I am here in my personal capacity, and I am passionate about this choice. I am now not only a father of 3, but a grandfather of a new 2-year-old. And when I think about them and the America I want them to live in. So this fight must continue, and this fight must go on. And I'm just proud to be with all you brothers tonight who are stepping up in a positive way. Roland, let's keep this going. Let's not make this a one-off. Let's keep this conversation going all the way through November, and let us move and work and act.
Mark, we absolutely will. That's one of the reasons why we are collecting data. And so, folks, we want y'all to go to winwithblackmen.org, fill that form out. There's a reason we want you to do that, because we need to do data collection. We don't believe in just having conversations and then don't know who actually was on the phone call. And so that's what we want y'all to do. And so, Mark, we certainly appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I know all the Omegas and the Kappas sitting here getting mad. Y'all, I'm just following orders. So y'all step on up. Next up, super producer, Will Packer, FAMU, represent HBCUs, Anna Alpha. What's up, Frat?
What up, baby? What's happening?
All good.
Come on, man, bro. Let me hit you with the 11119, sir.
Oh, 6. My voice is hoarse. I can still hit that.
That's all right. You've been out there putting that work in. One time for the Ice Cold Brothers of A5A. One time for everybody from the Florida A&M University. Shout out, put the rappers in the chat so I know you out there. Listen, bro, I'm not going to be long. I want to give honor to everybody that put this together. Listen, you all that are here, all 20, 30,000 of y'all that are here, you are here, right? You understand how important this is. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to get what you can. Somebody asked, how much? What can you give? What you got? What can you afford to get? Okay? The next thing I want you to do is talk to other brothers, cats that's not in this chat. And y'all know who they are. You know the cats that sit back and go, I don't know, for what, right? Ain't none of them for me. Ain't none of them right. I don't want to do it. I understand that. You got to talk to them. That's what we got to do. Use our power and influence. The other side has a base that no matter what, they are always riding for theirs, right? They are counting on us to sit this out. They are counting on us to not have a base that comes out and shows up for this sister. I know Madam VP personally. I know Kamala Harris personally. And I'm telling you now, she is ready. She is up to the challenge, and we will win this. They count us out, brothers. And you know what happens when they count us out. I work in Hollywood. You know that, bro. And I tell people all the time, you got to understand that audiences never realize the true power that they have. They think that the executives in Hollywood are determining what movies and TV shows are getting made. And I tell people all the time, that's not the case. You know who determines what gets made in Hollywood? You, the audience. Audiences have the power. If you see something, that means that an audience has said, we want to see that. We have the power in this election. This is it. When's the last time you, talking to you that's watching this right now, when the last time you did something that was truly monumental, truly consequential for yourself, for your family, for your community? This is the time. Who better than you? Who better than us? Let's go. That's it. It's period. It's done. This is it. They count us out. They think black men not going to stand up. Guess what? We're going to stand up. We're going to show out. I want you to give what you can, and I want you to reach out to those brothers that are doubting this moment. You know who they are. I want you to talk to those cats. The one that's like, for what? I'm going to sit back. Why do I need to be involved? This is it. This is the moment. It's not another moment. Don't wait on another moment. Don't wait on another time. We don't have time for that. This is it. This is our moment, and black men will lead the way. Black men will lead the way. Show me something, brothers. That's it. I came on here to say that, bro. That's it. That's what I had to say. Let's go and let's get it. It's our time.
Right. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much for joining us and sharing those words. And then we're going to see you out on the campaign trail. Let me also remind y'all this. Conan, who's the husband of a young president, he sent me this text. make sure you tell brothers, don't forget brothers from the block. And here's the deal. We're joking about frats and stuff. Listen, not every brother is in a frat. Not every brother went to college. Not every brother has a college degree. So we're talking about reaching every brother on the streets, every brother in the suites, whether you're a frat, whether you didn't pledge, it doesn't matter. And so we're keeping this thing going. And so we want you to understand, we got brothers from all around the country. People are watching around the world. And again, everybody couldn't get into the chat. Have them go to youtube.com/Roland Martin. They can watch this without having to get in the Streamyard because they capped us. And so we tried to get it expanded, but it was issues with their salespeople. Let's go right now to our next guest. You can see him on CNN. He's an attorney as well. And he's from South Carolina. Bakari Sellers, one of the co-hosts of this call. Bakari. There you go.
What's up, my brother? How are you?
All good. You're live.
Thank you so much. Look, I am actually in Las Vegas, Nevada, as we speak, and I just wanted to start off by saying I'm from the big city of Denmark, South Carolina, where we have 3 whole stoplights and a blinking light. And my mom and dad would always tell me the 2 most important words you can say in the English language are the words "thank you." And so the first thing I want to do is just say thank you to all my brothers on this call. Quentin James, a special thank you. Roland Martin, a special thank you. Win with Black Men, a special thank you. Everyone who came in to coordinate this effort, a special thank you. We're joined here for a singular cause and a common good. We're doing something that nobody really thought would be possible at this moment. And we're answering questions that people had about whether or not we could change the world that we live in. I'm somebody who doesn't believe in necessarily what this country was or what it is, but I believe in what this country can be. And so I'm here with my undying support for Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States. And the reason being is because many of us who are on this Zoom call, we are head of households, we are fathers, we are brothers, we are boyfriends, we are providers, we are protectors, and oftentimes our voices get muted in the larger political discourse. And I recall a moment in my life where my wife nearly died giving childbirth, and my daughter was sick with a liver disease. We had to have a transplant at 10 months old, Sadie Sellers. And I never forget the first person to call me.
So they said no. I wonder who they gave that shit to.
We got you, Doc. We got you. We got you. Take your time.
It was Kamala Harris. I'm not sure people understand the pain or the suffering that goes along with being a Black man in this country. I'm not sure people understand what it means to stand strong in this country. I'm not sure people understand what it means to have your back against the wall. But I'm staying with her because she stood with me. During my darkest moment, when I almost lost my daughter, when I had to protect my life, when I had to fight for a Black woman in the hospital. And so now it's my turn. And I really don't care what you all say about there's another Black man crying or this or that or the third. Because every day I'm working damn hard to make sure that tomorrow's better than yesterday. And so donate, stand up to me, because if we do not change the country we're living in, our daughters, our sons are going to have hell to pay. This is an amazing moment for our country. Let's protect Kamala. Let's be with her like she was there for us. And at the end of the day, we're going to disagree along this road. We're going to disagree about a lot. But let's put all that petty bickering aside. Let's just stop with all the petty BS. Let's stop with all the silos. Let's stop with this organization versus that organization, or this city versus that city. And let's stand up and be the black men that changed this country. We built this country. We built our communities. And now it's time for us to stand up again. So I'm rocking with Kamala. I love all of you all. I'm glad to have this space to share. I want to say a special thank you to the Big Seven. I want to say a special thank you to Rick Wade and Steve Benjamin. A special thank you to Don Lemon. All of these brothers who are on it from South Carolina, Jamie Devine, Aaron Bishop, Antoine C. Wright, and happy birthday, Jim Clyburn. I love you all.
All right, Bakari, I appreciate that, my brother. Somebody sent me a text and say, hey, ain't nothing wrong with real men showing emotion, showing grind. So, brother, we appreciate that powerful testimony that you just gave, quite emotional. And absolutely, that's a real sister in Kamala Harris. Absolutely. So, Bakari, we appreciate that, man. Thanks for joining us. And thanks for being one of the organizers of this and co-hosting this. Thanks a bunch. To everybody who's watching, it's a lot moving. We got a number of speakers going. And so, also, we also see the donut button. Folks, give me an update on how much we've raised. It's a lot of different brothers on here, different walks of life, brothers who are blue collar, who are white collar, you name it, attorneys and doctors, just engineers, janitors, airport ramp workers. I'm seeing your text messages. I'm seeing your comments in the chat room. And so, man, I will appreciate that. I want to go now to Florida. Congressman Maxwell Frost joins us right now. Brother, how you doing? Keenan, we're going to Congressman Maxwell Frost.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on.
Glad to have you here. Haven't had you yet on Roller Martin Unfiltered. We got to make that happen. But you right now on Game of Black Men. Go right ahead.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity, and it's great to be here as we together, especially as black men, coming around this historic opportunity to elect Kamala Harris as the president of the United States. And I want to talk specifically about an issue that's really important to me, which is ending gun violence. I got involved in politics at the age of 15 years old, because I didn't want to get shot. It was seeing the gun violence in my community. It was seeing the gun violence across the entire country that pushed me to get involved in politics in the first place. And when I got to Congress, the first bill I introduced was to create this federal office of gun violence prevention, which none other than the Vice President of the United States, Vice President Harris, has been overseeing. And when we talk about policy that centers the most vulnerable people, when we talk about policy that centers black people in this country, we have to talk about community violence intervention. A lot of the things that have been done outside of the carceral system to end gun violence before it even happens, and work at creating the conditions necessary so people don't have to pick up the gun in the first place. And the vice president has been a leader in that office, fighting to ensure we have hundreds of millions of dollars going to our communities across the entire country. And so that's one of the many reasons I'm proud to be supporting her. Many of you know me, and some of you might not know. I'm the youngest member of Congress, the first member of my generation, Gen Z, to be in Congress. And I'll tell you, this issue, especially for young people, but especially for young black men, is top of mind. When we talk about survivors of gun violence, there's a lot of black men out there that are surviving gun violence on a daily basis. And I think the vice president has the opportunity to really bring this issue to the forefront and talk about it in the way that needs to be spoken about. Yes, it's making sure guns don't get in the wrong hands, but it's creating the conditions necessary so people don't feel the need to pick it up in the first place. And that's one of the many reasons I'm excited to be on this call, to support our vice president so we can make it the president. So I come from organizing, so I got to put out an organizing pitch. I want to encourage everybody on this call, before you leave this call, of course, make sure you donate. But if you can, knock some doors and make some phone calls. Don't let yourself leave this call before you sign up for a shift, before you sign up to go out in your community, speak with some voters in your community or friends that you have about how important this is. We can't sit this one out. We always say it's the most important election of our lifetime, and we say that because it's true, because the most important thing is what's right in front of us, and what's right in front of us is this. So again, I appreciate you having me on. I don't want to take up too much time, but wanted to speak about an issue that's dear to my heart. I'm all about this. I'll be on the road across the country to get the youth vote out, and I'll see y'all out there.
Congressman Maxwell Frost from Florida. I really appreciate it. And when you come on Roll Up Unfiltered, we'll give you a lot more time.
Of course. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Folks, we got a lot of folks who are waiting to get on. We've got, of course, out of Virginia, the second Black Speaker of the House just elected, Don Scott. My frat brother also plays at Texas A&M Power Macron chapter. U.S. Senator Raphael Warnock, another brother, waiting to get him on as well. Right now, I want to go to Pennsylvania. First, Pennsylvania Democratic Party Chair, State Senator Sharif Street. We also have State Senator Vincent Hughes. So let's go to Sharif first, and then we're going to go to Vincent Hughes, and then we're going to go to Chevron Jones, and then Reverend Terry Melvin, the Coalition of Black Trade Unionists. So State Senator Sharif Street, you're up. Yes, sir. I think you're on mute.
You got me now. Can you hear me now?
Now we got you. Go.
Look, Roland, Zach. All right. All right. Look, I'm glad to be on the call. I've heard from all the other brothers. Look, in Pennsylvania, we need all the support we can get. Black turnout can make the difference with Black folks turnout, not only in Philadelphia, but Pittsburgh, but Harrisburg, Lancaster, Reading, and all the various cities around there. We can make sure that Pennsylvania holds up the blue wall and we elect Kamala Harris president of the United States. But not only that, in Pennsylvania, if you're out here, we can make the difference in holding the U.S. Senate when we reelect Bob Casey to the U.S. Senate. Pennsylvania, we can make the difference in holding the U.S. House. We got 4 seats that could be in play. We can make sure that we reelect Susan Wild to Congress. We can make sure that we elect Matt Cartwright to Congress. We can flip 2 seats. We can elect Ashley Ehasz in the 1st district. We can take the 10th district as well. And understand this. I know a lot of folks want to get on. Kamala Harris has been delivering for us. She filed a litigation as an attorney general to take on the opioid companies. We see the drugs that go into our communities. All that's not coming across the border. There were legal U.S. companies pumping opioids into our communities. She took them on as attorney general. It filed with 34 other attorney generals in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania to do it. She's helped close the Black wealth gap as vice president of the United States. She's worked to get lead and asbestos out of our schools. Black kids are more likely to have lead poisoning than anybody else. These are critical issues. She has a track record of delivering. Now it's time for us to knock doors, give money, make calls, and get out the vote. We need to deliver for her because she's delivered for us, and we especially need to deliver for us in the battleground states like Pennsylvania. Roland, thank you for doing this call, and I thank everybody for allowing us to participate.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you so very much. Senator Hughes, hold tight. I got to quickly go to Florida, State Senator Chevron Jones, and I'm coming back to Philadelphia and Pennsylvania with Senator Vincent Hughes. So let's go.
By the way, Cap Alpha to the day I die.
All right. Snuck a little Kappa in here. All right, then. Appreciate it. All right. Appreciate it, brother. State Senator Chevron Jones. My alpha brother. Go right ahead. I think you're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Hey, Frat, you can hear me?
Now you're good. Go.
Good to hear you, brother. Thank you, Brother Roland, Brother Quentin, Bakari, and Brother Khalil. At first, I want to thank you all for calling us all in for this huddle this evening. I come here from Florida, and we're just happy to be here in this moment. It definitely warms my heart to know that men, Black men, and that we gather in such a time as this. Black men, we are not a monolith. And Governor Westmore said it best. We have different stories. We have different experiences. We all have different testimonies. We've reached this point where we can once again demonstrate our capabilities just like we have done in the past. We're familiar with hard work, and we understand the impact of our collective strength. And I believe that this is the time for us to support Black women as they have supported us, and they continue to support us. You all know the old saying that Malcolm X has said, and that as the most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the Black woman. the most neglected person in America is the black woman. We have the opportunity to show America that black women are respected, that they are supported, and that they are protected. Now, I have a mother who lived through Jim Crow. She saw the first black president. And now we see the day when her Sarah will be sworn in as the president of the United States. Brothers, we have the opportunity to amplify and mobilize around Vice President Harris. And based on this call, I know that we're ready. We're seeing as if we're ready. And after today's call, I charge all of you all, create your own community conversations with other black men, with other community leaders and other stakeholders. Make that clarion call in your own communities and build that energy that we know that we can build, that we have built before. Brother Roland, I can't wait to see the momentum that we're about to build across this country, and because I know we can do it, and we know we need to do it, brothers, and I believe that we will get this done. God bless you all. I love y'all. Love you, King. Thank you so much, Fred.
Fred, I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Let's go back to Pennsylvania. State Senator Vincent Hughes, also the husband of Cheryl Lee Ralph. What's up, my brother?
I may not be a proud frat member, but I'm a damn sure proud husband of Shirley Ralph. I'll be clear about that. All right. Roland and crew, thank you for pulling this together. If you need reasons why to support Kamala Harris for president, let's walk it down real quickly. In the Biden-Harris economic policy program, states have huge budget surpluses now. What have we done with that in Pennsylvania? Over $155 million of grant money, not loan money, went to small black and brown businesses, the barbershop, the beauty salon. And I said, grants, not loans, grants, not loans. One example. Second example, we just began the funding of the huge education discrimination lawsuit case in Pennsylvania's history. Just this past budget, because of the Biden-Harris budget surpluses that were provided to Pennsylvania, we've driven $1.1 billion to school districts all across Pennsylvania, most of them black and brown, that historically have been left out. Because of the Biden-Harris budget surpluses that have been provided to Pennsylvania, we've gotten over $240 million to neighborhood-based anti-violence programs that have reduced violence, gun violence in Pennsylvania, and in Philadelphia specifically, the largest reduction of any big city in the country. We've got money to black and brown mental health providers serving black and brown communities because of the Biden-Harris economic policies. But let's ask this question on a more personal level. What do we say to our sisters? When asked the question, where were you when Kamala Harris had the opportunity to be president of the United States of Pennsylvania? Do we say we stood with our sisters, partner to partner, shoulder to shoulder, or do we say we turned the other way? What do we say to our children? Daddy, where were you? Grandpapa, where were you when it was that time, when it was that moment? Do we say we stood with them and stood for their future? Or we turn the other way? What do we say to our allies who are waiting to see if we are going to step up and stand up? Because they're waiting to see if we're going to move before they move. What do we say to them? And for those of us, brothers, who think about this from a historical perspective, this moment that we're in right now is a manifestation of wherever we were in 1984 and 1988 with Reverend Jackson and his effort to empower us and to move us forward when seeking the White House. This is just another step in that line. And this sister is prepared from day one. She is like that philosophy. If you stay ready, you never have to get ready. The question is, are we going to step up? So all I'm asking, Roland and everybody, all the brothers, take your hill. Take your personal hill. That's that right. Family, that community, that neighborhood that you live on, that you work in, and that you thrive in. Take that hill right now. This is our moment. This is our time. Let's make the difference that we deserve to make. And this sister deserves us to stand up for her and with her. All right, Roland.
All right, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much, folks. We've got a lot of folks waiting. My man, Drew Bullock, is going to give us a breakdown in a bit about the attacks on the criminal justice record of Kamala Harris. And so we're going to get that. But right now, I want to go to Reverend Terry Melvin with the coalition of Black trade unions. Reverend Melvin, are you there? Reverend Terry Melvin. He's next. Then we have U.S. Senator Raphael Warnock, Speaker of Virginia, Don Scott, and then Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul. And so right now, let's go to Reverend Melvin. Keenan, you got Reverend Terry Melvin? Do you have Reverend Terry Melvin? Keenan, send me a text. If you don't have Reverend Terry Melvin, let's go to U.S. Senator Raphael Warnock out of Georgia.
What
Warnock,
brothers?
you're live, Frat.
Good to be with you, Frat. Hello, brothers. We got to throw it up. There we go. Listen, it's wonderful to be here with you. I'm in a car making my way across Georgia where I had an event earlier today, but I wouldn't miss tonight for anything. Thank you, Roland and Mike Blake and Bakari Sellers, Khalil Thompson, Quentin James. Thank you all for pulling this together. This is our moment. This is the moment of truth for us to show up. Kamala Harris's name will be on the ballot, but in a very real sense, it's our families that are on the ballot. It's our future that's on the ballot. Our sons and our daughters are on the ballot. I can say a whole lot about Kamala Harris, whom I consider not only an extraordinary human being, an extraordinary vice president, she's a good friend. And I'm thinking about so much right now. I'm thinking about the moment we confirmed to the United States Supreme Court another outstanding Black woman, Ketanji Brown Jackson. That day we confirmed her, the Senate chamber was full. And had I not won, had John Ossoff not won in Georgia, first Black senator, first Jewish senator, even with Joe Biden in the White House, we wouldn't have been confirming Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Sorry about that. My bad. I'm sorry. I was muted. Do we have Speaker Don Scott? We lost Senator Warnock. He said he was traveling. We'll try to get him back on. And we must have lost his feed there. And so can we go to the second African-American, the Speaker of the House in Virginia, Don Scott? Keenan, you got Don? Do you have Don? Okay. All right. We don't have Don. Let's go to Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, Roland? And good evening, everyone. It is really, truly my honor and privilege to be with you all this evening. What an exciting opportunity we have as a country. Of course, let me just first thank President Biden for his leadership. He will certainly be recorded in history as one of the most consequential, one of the most effective presidents in the United States history. And I'm speaking as a former social studies teacher. But in this moment, and as soon as President Biden made his decision, I was one of the first elected leaders in this country to endorse Kamala Harris. I didn't flinch. In fact, that's what this moment requires. Black men to stand up and not flinch. That's how I grew up. I'm one of 10. My brother would always say to me, my older brother, if you're in a fight and you're ducking, you're losing. If you flinch, you're losing. We have to swing on behalf of our daughters, our aunts, our sisters, our cousins, our wives, our grandmothers. I mean, they helped build this democracy. It is very evident that there are forces that want a rematch on the Civil War. They made it very clear a season ago. They are playing for keeps. The best moment that we have to secure our democracy and protect the progress that we've made as a people is to put our arms around this sister, Vice President Kamala Harris. Yesterday, looking at my daughter in her face, 10 years old, Brayden, for her to see a reflection of her being and her person and her values reflected in Vice President Kamala Harris as the first Black woman to serve as president of these United States, that's why I didn't hesitate, and that's why I did not flinch. The first elected official in the state of Illinois to come out and support her. I'm committed to doing what we do well as Black men. We organize, we challenge, we provide protection, we provide support. That's financially and otherwise. The last thing that I'll say is this: her commitment to a few things that we've been working on in Chicago, her commitment to making sure that we have real investment for behavioral health, mental health services for our young people in our schools, $285 million, 14,000 clinicians around the country. That's why I'm supporting her. I just passed a $1.25 billion investment for housing, affordable housing, and economic development. Her position, securing $12 billion for Californians when in her other capacity, and what she has done as vice president around affordable housing is why I'm also supporting her. And then the last thing is this: we have real challenges with community safety around this country, particularly gun violence, whether it's school shootings, whether it's shootings on the block. President Biden trusting Vice President Kamala Harris to oversee, for the first time in the history of Chicago and in the history of America, gun violence prevention office reduction. That's critical for our transformation. So look, I'm excited about this moment. I got elected a year ago with young voters. 26,532 votes determined my election as a progressive Black mayor versus going in a different direction. 27,000 new voters voted in April of last year, all under the age of 34. The tide is shifting. Let's make sure that we build an America that works for working people, and that person that actually helped transform our country. Coming out of the city of Chicago with this convention, and I expect all of you brothers to show up as well, because this is the city that said, keep hope alive. This is the city that said, yes, we can. This is the city that launched the first Black woman to be a United States Senator, Kara Mosley Braun, the ambassador. History is made in Chicago. Dr. King said, we figure it out in Chicago, we can do it anywhere in the world. So you can see my enthusiasm. Let's make sure that Kamala Harris not only shatters the glass ceilings, but let's make sure that we build up an economy that works for our people. God bless y'all, brother. Look forward to seeing y'all in August, and let's make sure we make history in November.
All right, then, Mayor Brandon Johnson, we appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Brothers, we have surpassed $800,000. 800,000. Let's get to 1 million. You see the donate button right there, secure.actblue.com/donate/TPC-comma. Let's stay in Illinois. His Attorney General Kwame Raoul.
Roland, thanks for having me. And first off, let me say to the mayor, I was in the no flinch zone as well. I was the first statewide elected official to endorse Kamala Harris yesterday. I don't know who was first, whether it was the mayor or me, but I'm gonna give him his, I'll trust his word on that. Secondly, let me thank you and for organizing this call. I knew something was up when I saw the black and gold colors on the on the invitation. You know, there was a conspiracy to get a bunch of alpha men on here, but that's all right. I circulated that black and gold invite to my Kappa brothers in Chicago, and I'm encouraging them all to make a donation just as I did. I want to really thank as a father of a daughter, I want to thank Bakari for sharing his story, displaying his strength. Sometimes as Black men, we get confused as to what strength is. And sometimes we think that standing behind a Black woman as a leader does not display strength as Black men. I'm here to tell you all tonight that it does the opposite of that. It displays strength. That's why I had no hesitation in supporting Kamala Harris. I've seen her demonstrated leadership. And I'm asking all the brothers on the call tonight to do one thing. When we see a misled brother trying to take down our sister, mischaracterizing her history of leadership, I have served as a prosecutor. I have served and continue to serve as AG. And I know the decision making you have to make. And I've seen people mischaracterize her record. We have to step up and we have to characterize those brothers, because those brothers are not displaying the type of strength that I'm talking about. We have an opportunity right now to make history by electing Kamala Harris. I'm standing behind a Black woman to be president of the United States, and it doesn't make me any less of a Black man. I'm asking all of you all to do the same. Thank you, Roland.
All right, sir, we appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Folks, let's go to New York City, Congressman Gregory Meeks. Congressman Meeks, let's pull him up, folks. Do we have Congressman Gregory Meeks? Keenan, if we don't have Meeks, let's go to, there we go, Congressman Gregory Meeks, go right ahead. What's up, Frat?
Hey, Frat. Thank you for doing this, Roland.
Gregory Meeks.
Thank you for doing this. I appreciate you so much because it's so important.
Let's go to,
Can you hear me now?
yeah, let's turn your program down so that way we don't get the feedback. Go right ahead.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for all the brothers that with you and the brother Blake. Also, this is so important. The camera of history is rolling right now. And sometimes when you're living history, you don't understand it and you don't realize the consequences it means for the future. I can think of the brothers that were walking back in the civil rights movement. Charlie Rango talked about how he was cussing as he was walking in the rain with his shoes on.
Did we lose Congressman Meeks? Did he freeze up? If we lost Congressman Meeks, he froze up there. Let's get his signal back. But let me go to right now, Attorney Ben Crump. Ben, got an Omega. All Omega's happy. Ben, are you there?
Hey, Roland.
Yes, sir.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let's do this here. Turn your program down because we're getting feedback. So just talk to me direct. So whatever the program, turn it down. Just go ahead and talk. Go ahead.
Okay. Roland, it's so good to be with the brothers as we make history, or should I say, her story. As I was with the family of Sonia Massey, sister who was shot in the face by a police officer after she called 911, as busy as the vice president is, she always finds time to give a voice to those who are often forgot about, as you very well know, Roland. And obviously, you know, I am 110% committed to Vice President Kamala Harris because of the relationship going back to the days after Trayvon, when I handled a police case out in California, and she was their attorney general. And even though we were against one another, we had such healthy respect, and she really showed me and demonstrated to me that she cares about our people passionately. And so what we have to do, brothers and sisters, is protect her. We have to protect her from all of those who are going to try to attack her because of racism, sexism, classism, and just all around haterade. That's what happens. When I talk to her, she sometimes don't even understand why they're being so visceral and nasty to her. And the one thing I always say, Roland, Madam Vice President, you've been chosen for this moment. Some people don't want to accept that. And so you just go ahead and keep your eyes on the prize, and us strong black men and us strong black women, we gonna watch your nine and we got your back. So tonight is a testament to that. As I'll say this, Roland, she is the perfect person to be able to prosecute and cross-examine Trump's Project 2025. I mean, she
as a civil trial lawyer, she is somebody who understands the nuance and the strategy and the brilliance of getting a shyster like Trump boxed in a corner where he can't get out. I really hope that he has the courage to debate her. In the words of my little daughter, we dare him to debate the vice president. We double dog dare him to debate the vice president, to be able to show not only America, but the world just how brilliant this sister is, just how much she is a symbol of hope, not just for Black people, but all marginalized people in America who have never had the constitutional guarantees fully bestowed upon them. This is our opportunity. And I know we can win this thing. Roland, you understand president politics, battleground politics better than most. Her path to victory, as long as the Democrats will vote Democratic and not be blindsided by bias or bigotry, and we get our brothers and sisters and our little cousins and nieces, nephews, our homeboys, our homegirls, our frat brothers, our Mason brothers, Shaniquas, Junebugs, everybody, as Derek Johnson, NAACP president, often say, the infrequent voters, like with Obama, like what they did in Georgia with the Senate races. If we get those infrequent voters fired up and get to the polls, then she has such an easy path to victory. And like the great men of Omega Psi Phi say, Roland Martin, we need 10 of us. We come to the poll and we bring 10 people with us. Unlikely voters, people, some of them might be in our family, some of them may be in our community, but we write their names down and we make sure that they are registered to vote and they come to vote. And oh, by the way, y'all brothers, God has blessed everybody on this call. We can donate to Kamala and scare the hell out of those billionaires, because when you got small donors, that's way greater than those billionaire donors, because money don't vote, people vote. And that's why we got to have a ground game and organize.
That's it. All right, Ben Crump, I appreciate it.
Love you, brother.
And again, we got brothers from all stripes on here, in fraternities, not in fraternities, in college graduates, not college graduates. We got on all stripes. We got grassroots. We got people blue collar, white collar, you name it, we got it. He's about to get on a plane right now. Let's quickly go to Derek Johnson, President and CEO of NAACP. Again, he's speaking in his personal capacity tonight. And so, Derek, go right ahead. We got Derek. Do we have Derek Johnson? All right, we don't have Derek Johnson. Do we have Reverend Terry Melvin? Kenny, do we have, let's see here. Reverend Terry Melvin, go right ahead. There you go.
Hey, Roland, how you doing? Thank you so much for pulling us together and all the brothers that are here with us tonight. This should be the beginning of something great. This should be not a moment, but a movement of brothers coming together to do something positive to save our country. Look, we must support Kamala Harris because she is qualified. The fact that she is Black is great. The fact that she's a woman is great, but she is qualified to be the next leader of the free world. I want to report that just this evening, the Coalition of Black Trade Unionists, in their last 52 years of being in existence, has only made 4 other endorsements for the office of President of the United States. Tonight, we chose to endorse Kamala Harris to be the next president of these United States. And why did we do it? Because she is qualified. Look, this election is about the difference between saving our democracy and saving our children and grandchildren's future. Black men, we've got to come together like never before. We've been called out. We've been told we're not enough. We're not going to come together. But this is the time that we stand up and support this sister to go to the highest office in this nation. I was also a part, that's why I was late, of the New York delegation meeting today, where we endorsed, collectively endorsed as a delegation of the state of New York to endorse Kamala Harris because she is the one that we need in this office. Again, this is the beginning, and this has to be not a moment, but a movement. We've got to stand together because we know that we need the White House, we need the Senate, and we need the House. And we've got to pull together all of our resources, all of our forces to make this happen. When Black men come together, when Black men work together, then we will win. And I believe that we're ready to do something. Let me say what I've been saying for the last 6 months. We have the opportunity in this country, this election, to elect somebody that's going to do something for us or somebody that's going to do something to us. I want to elect the person that's going to do something for us, that's going to make a better future for this country. So it is time for us to not just talk the talk, but we got to walk the walk. And we got to give whatever we can. I don't care if it's $1. I don't care if it's 50 cents or $50,000. Whatever we can afford based on where we are in our place in life. Whatever we do, whatever we can afford, we've got to give. Look, the women met, Black women met yesterday, and they did over $1 million, I'm understood. Now, we have got to lead, Black men. We've got to put some money in the coffers. I'm calling on everyone on this line to give. Give like you've never given before. And not only give, but it is time to go to work in this election. Immediately, not tomorrow, but tonight. Get on the phone after this call and start calling your friends, your family, and tell them we all must get involved in this fight to save democracy, to save us from Project 2025, to save our country. Thank you so much for calling us together. And let's let this be the beginning. Let's set up more of these calls, not just for an election, but let's just talk about Black men power, getting together and making a difference. God bless you, and thank you, Roland.
Reverend Melvin, I appreciate that. And that's one of the reasons why we're collecting as much data as we can. Thank you so very much. All right, Pastor Rudy McKissick. Let me bring up another Omega, Derek Johnson, President, CEO, NAACP. He is speaking on in his personal capacity. He's about to hop on a plane. Derek, go right ahead. Derek, you're on mute. Hit the mute button.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Now we got you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? I want to thank you, Quentin, Michael Blake, and everyone who organized this. What's at stake in this election is not only what's at the top of the ticket, and let me start by saying I'm speaking in my personal capacity, not as head of the C4 organization, but the Southern courts is important. The administration did really good in appointing more Black judges than any other president in the history. But where majority of Black people live in the former Confederate South, we did not get district court judges appointed and confirmed. This election is as important as any other time. They're playing chess, not checkers. It's not about the one election cycle. It's about controlling the federal courts for the next 40 years. And at the clip on, they are prepared to that. That's why November is important. That's why we must turn out, and that's why we raise money to ensure that we can get the message out and turn out to vote. I want to thank my brother Ben Crump for talking about the freaking voter program. It is important that we turn out every that's living in our house, our community, because we have the numbers. They may have money, but we have the numbers to turn out to vote. We don't have a time for us versus us paradigm. We have a time for us reality. Finally, Project 2025 is a 60-year goal that they put in place, and they have perfected their method of using the arc of time to put in place an apartheid system that in 1930, then 2030. It is important for us to recognize what's been put in place. And for any brothers who are in the barbershops that conspiracy theories, the only conspiracy that's taking place is a conspiracy to take your ass out. And that's 2025, whether it's taking out Head Start, whether it is taking out all the programs that we care about. At the end of the day, there is nothing important in this election. There's nothing more important than what's at the top of the ticket. There's nothing more important than make sure we get control of the Senate. There's nothing more important than we prevent them from implementing Project 2025. There's nothing more important than us making sure that we put in place top of system to protect democracy and secure our look for. It is our time to do it. It is our time. Thank you, Roland. Thank you, Quinn. Thank you, Michael Blake. Take care.
Derek, I appreciate that. Safe travels on the airplane. Let's go to, we got Senator Raphael Warnock back. Let's go to Senator Raphael Warnock. Let's pull up Senator Raphael Warnock. We know he's traveling on the road. Keenan, you got him? Do we have Senator Warnock? All right, let me know we get Senator Warnock. Let's go to Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens, a good cap. Mayor Dickens.
Hey, Roland, can you hear me?
We got you.
All right, good. I'm just like a bunch of other brothers. I'm traveling as well. That means we are all out here doing the work of the people, and I know Senator Warnock is too. But listen, I wanted to chime in on everything. Thank you, Roland. Thank you, Bakari and Michael Blake and Khalil and everybody else who helped to put this together. I'm excited. We are fired up in the state of Georgia and in the city of Atlanta. You know, what made sure that Biden got over and won that election was the state of Georgia. And Donald Trump is still looking for those 11,000 votes. Well, we got them. And we are fully fired up right now behind Kamala Harris. She's received the endorsement of President Joe Biden. She's received the endorsement of so many other elected leaders, including myself. And now we're fired up. And I know a thing or two about momentum. We got 100 days, y'all. And in this 100 days, this momentum is going to carry us all the way to victory. And I want to just make sure that I share this with all the brothers out there from the state of Georgia and those in the South, that we don't doubt nothing. We're going to keep moving forward, and we're going to make sure that we turn out to vote in the state of Georgia. The victory that we got for Joe Biden and Raphael Warnock and Ossoff is going to happen once again for Kamala Harris. We are fired up, so much so that, you know, everybody from labor unions in Georgia to all the delegates have already guaranteed that all their votes are going towards Kamala Harris. So now it's time for us to raise the money, get the volunteers, and go forward. One thing that I've been hearing is Republicans are scared. And one of the ways I know they're scared is they're already talking about lawsuits. You know they're afraid of Kamala Harris, as if not even in 24 hours are they talking about suing the party for having her already be the nominee. See, that's the kind of fear that we've already struck in them by this momentum that we've got going with over $80 million raised in 24 hours. And brothers, we are all putting our money in Atlanta. We got our money train coming. We are definitely going to show up big with our support. So let's go out there and do our thing. Yes, I'm a Kappa man. Yes, Roland, you're alphas, and everybody else. We're calling out our organizations. We come together just like I was working for Warnock to help the Divine Nine be able to put him over the finish line when he ran in that historic election. And just like Joe Biden, we all work very hard to be able to get him where he is. That's going to happen again for Kamala Harris. Brother, I'm excited. Let's make sure we turn out the polls, whether it's through our churches, through our nonprofits, our organizations, our businesses. Somebody that you know may not have casted a vote in a long time. Don't give up on them. Make sure they know what's at stake in this election. And for us city leaders, I don't know a single mayor across America that is unfamiliar with how impactful the Biden-Harris administration has been to mayors. I know the world's busiest airport has benefited from it. I know the city of Atlanta's roads and infrastructure and the Beltline, as well as all the number of things that we got going on in the city. Our crime rate went down because the American Rescue Plan Act that Biden-Harris put together. So Kamala Harris was at that table, and when she becomes president, she's going to make sure that our cities get just what we need, which is why we were able to reduce our homicide rate by 21%. while we were able to hire all these kids and make sure they have the best year ever with the Year of the Youth, because of the programs and the policies and the money that came out of Biden-Harris, when Harris has it as the presidency, we're really going to take off and do amazing things for Black and brown people and youth and urban communities and all of America. So I'm excited. You can count on me, Roland. Let's continue to keep this thing going. I'm glad to see all these brothers on the call. I watched the sisters last night and they did their thing. And I'm hearing so many conversations that are excited in all the communities that I represent, not just Black communities, but all of them. People are ready to go across America and definitely in the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia. Let's keep this thing going, guys, and let's continue to support one another. No doubt, no fear. We're moving towards the finish line.
Mayor Dickens, I appreciate it, my brother. Thank you so very much. Folks, we got a big, important update. Here's Mike Blake, Quentin James.
Brothers, thank y'all so much for joining us.
Won't you kick it off first, Q?
Yes. Thank y'all, brothers, for joining us. Roland, thank you so much. Y'all, I've raised a lot of money over the past few years. I have never been a part of an effort to raise over $1 million in less than 2 hours. Win with Black men. Win with Black men, y'all. This is powerful. I am sitting like I'm out of the country right now. I'm on vacation, and this has been so amazing. The other important announcement: Kamala Harris has now secured enough pledged delegates to be the official nominee for the Democratic Party over the next few weeks. And so, y'all, this is incredible. Thank you all. Thank you all. Please keep giving, though. I will say, listen, the Black women last night, Black women, they raised, I think, $1.5 million on their call.
1.6. It's at 1.6. I had Holly Holiday on my show. They had 1.6. Yo, we gonna get past 1.6.
We gonna get them.
Come on, bro.
Let's keep it up. Thank you again, Roland. Let's keep it going. Got a lot more speakers to come, but thank you all so much for being here, for giving, and we're gonna have some organizing updates. Our money is important, but also our time is gonna be important. So you're gonna hear from the DNC and Trey Baker and Darren Owens, other folks on the DNC, to give us some marching orders for our time to get our brothers, again, from the streets to the suites, lined up to make sure that we're knocking on doors, making phone calls, doing the work and organizing to get Vice President Harris over the finish line.
Mike Blake, Mike.
Look, we got to keep this going, y'all. We have more to do. We are excited. If you did not hear the update just now, we have passed tonight $1 million raised to make sure that Vice President Harris becomes President Harris. We are raising this to support her campaign and to support Black men organizations that are doing the work on the ground. You know, Collective, Vote to Live, Democracy in Action, Kairos Democracy Project, Black Men Vote, Win with Black Men, Black Male Voter Project. We are here to do the work. And because of what you are doing, we got to keep going, everybody. They're afraid of us right now. They're afraid of what we're doing. They can't understand that Black women and Black men have stepped up in this way. So we need you. So again, you see the link on the screen. Doesn't matter what the amount is. It matters to making sure we all home. 106 days, everybody. Other critical update, because many of you have been asking this. Because of what's happening in California, New York, and other state delegations, the vice president has now garnered more pledged delegates to ensure she will be our nominee. Now we got work to do. We got to keep pressing everybody. So we have more speakers to go. We are excited. We are excited. We are excited. Click on the link. That will ensure that we support Vice President Harris becoming President Harris and supporting Black men-led organizations that will be doing the work across the country. Brother Martin, let's keep this all going. We got more speakers to go. We're excited. We're excited.
And Brother Martin, you know, if any brother on this call had 38 felonies, they would not be on this call. They would not be taking flights around the country, speaking at rallies. They would not be going to see their kids, not be spending time, doing crazy things that Donald Trump does. So we got to make sure that somebody else gets held accountable, that Black men, that if they have 38 felonies, they'd be buried underneath the jail. So we got to make sure we show up. We got to do what's right and show up and vote and organize in our communities.
All right. Absolutely. Gentlemen, I appreciate that. To all of the speakers, please, if you can limit it to 2 minutes. We got lots of people lined up. We got to get to them. Y'all let me know. We have Senator Warnock back into the room. I'm checking here. So let's do this here. Let's go real quick. I'm going to go to right now. Let's go to Cliff Albright, co-founder of Black Voters Matter. Cliff, again, speaking in his personal capacity. Cliff, you there? Cliff, let's go. Hey, Cliff, turn your audio down. Cliff, turn your Cliff.
I appreciate that.
Cliff,
all the speakers.
Cliff, turn your program audio down.
2 minutes. We got lots of people lined up. We gotta get
Hey,
to them.
okay, tell Cliff I need him to do. Let's go to. Let me go to real quick. Hey, Drew Bullock, y'all. Drew Bullock has been studying the record of Kamala Harris. A lot of people have been spreading lies and misinformation about her criminal justice record. Drew, give it to us straight, the truth about Kamala Harris's criminal justice record. All this stuff about how she put thousands of black men in jail. Give it to us straight, Drew.
Well, thank you for having me. Real quick, listen, all of it's cap. None of it's true. Ain't no thousands of black men being thrown in jail by Kamala Harris. That is not what happened at all. As a matter of fact, when it came to things like simple possession for marijuana crimes, when she was DA of San Francisco, even when people had felony amounts, they were regularly pleading that down to misdemeanor charges. Folks were not getting locked up. And I'd even touch on this program she started called Back on Track, which instead of giving you jail time, even if you got caught with like 2 grams of crack where you're facing 40 years, you go to a boot camp, get training, go through certain classes. You got a job waiting for you when you get out. You got your GED waiting for you when you get out if necessary. You got parental training if you need it when you get out. So, nah, she wasn't locking us up. She was keeping us out of jail. So I'm eternally grateful for what she has done for many people who look like me, who come from different circumstances. And more recently, just keep in mind that child tax credit, that's her idea that y'all got. And that COVID-19 release bill, the one that got us all the testing kits and the vaccines and those $1,400 checks and all that stuff that y'all love to talk about. Say, oh man, Trump gives. No, that was definitely a tie-breaking vote by none other than Vice President Kamala Harris. So guess what? I'm supporting her, giving her a vote. Make sure y'all donate, give money. But she got us. We gotta make sure that we get her. So that's really what it is, yo. Oh yeah, by the way, Aggie Pride, of course.
A&T. Be sure to follow Drew on Twitter. He breaks down all of the facts. Be sure to watch him. Let's go now to a councilman in Maryland, Will Jawando. Will, what you got? Will Jawando. We got Will there? Do we have Will? All right. Let's go to Senator Warnock. Do we have, okay, Will Jawando, go. No, Will, go ahead.
Hey, I appreciate you. Good to see y'all. And I'm glad to join the caucus of being on the road, being an active black man, supporting our vice president. I really appreciate all you brothers for organizing this. And my brother Roland, brother Blake, brother Thompson, Bakari, thank you for sharing your heart, man. You inspired me. One of the first things that Kamala Harris does every time she sees you, she asks about your family. She asks about your kids. She invites them to come see her. She cares about our families, our people, more than anybody. To the brother who was just talking about her work as a prosecutor, she brought her heart into that and soul into that work, a very difficult job. We've always had to deal with that as black people. 1 in 3 of us as black men have been arrested by 21, 1 in 2, arrested by 21. 1 in 3 will spend time in jail or prison. That weighed on her every day, and she brought that into her job. So put to rest all that stuff that people talk about her. I just want to tell you 2 things. Kamala Harris will work harder than anybody for all of our communities, but we have to support her as black men. I'm so proud that we're past $1 million. I'm gonna make another donation tonight. We can be on par and compete with our sisters who knocked it out of the park last night. The excitement that's been out there. I'm a Maryland delegate as well as a council member in Montgomery County, but also worked in the Obama White House. And I've known Kamala for over 15 years, and she cares about this community. We voted by acclamation in Maryland to give all of her delegates. She secured all the delegates already. This all happened in one day, millions of dollars. And this has already reached the grassroots. So the fire has already been lit. Our job as black men is to step up and support and be leaders and help our sister get to the White House so that she can help all of us do better. all of us do better. And that's what Kamala always has done. She cares about our community. And last thing I'll say, she focuses on the small stuff. She built this administration with President Biden, who will go down in history as someone who has done more for Black people as president than any president probably since Abraham Lincoln, appointing a sister to the Supreme Court. And Kamala has been his helpmeet. She's ready on day one. I appreciate y'all and can't wait to get this done. Let's get it done.
Brett, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Thank you so very much. Let's go Senator Raphael Warnock. Senator Warnock, we got your back.
I'm here.
There we go. All right, go.
Well, Roland, I'm going to defy Baptist gravity and be brief. Listen, brothers, this moment, this night will go down in history when the brothers got together to say that we are all in for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris. I've often said that a vote is a kind of prayer for the world we desire for ourselves and for our children. And our prayers are stronger when we pray together. Brothers, it's time to pray with our lips and with our legs, with our hands and with our feet. It's time to show up for not just for Kamala Harris. Her name is on the ballot, but it's our families and our future that's really on the ballot. Donald Trump, I don't have to tell you, is a plague on the American conscience and a threat to our democracy. He is an existential threat, and the Lord has given us a way to make sure that we stop him at the pass. I've known Kamala Harris for years now. She's been to my church. I know her pastor. I know her faith, and I know that her faith is what drives her in this important work. Don't let anybody slow us down asking the question, can a Black woman win? Can a Black woman be elected as president of the United States? On a smaller scale, I know something about that kind of question. Can a Black man who grew up in the projects be the first Black senator from a state in the old Confederacy? And here I sit, having been elected 5 times, my name on the ballot 5 times in Georgia. Kamala Harris can win. We just have to show up, and we have to show up with our money as well. Glad to see the donations rolling in. She is responsible for so much progress. She's a proud HBCU graduate. She went to Howard University. I'm a proud Morehouse man, but it's all HBCU 1867 love. And she is the one pushing President Biden as he's forgiven all of the student debt. She has been in the fight with us, investing in HBCUs, more than $16 billion. This administration has already invested in HBCUs. The list goes on and on and on, but I promised you I would be brief. And so I'm going to keep my word. Let's make this happen. History is watching us, and the future is waiting on us. The time is now.
All right, Frat, I appreciate that so very much. Let's go to the Speaker of the House in Virginia, Don Scott. Don, from my chapter at Texas A&M, my alpha brother, just elected Speaker of the House. We made it happen, helping him. Don, go.
Thank you, man. Thank y'all all for the work that y'all are doing. I am so very grateful to see this happening tonight. This reaffirms my faith, not only in America, but in Black men and the role that we play. We have an opportunity to put an extraordinarily talented political personality in the presidential house, and that is Kamala Harris. She is a foundational, inspirational person, and we have an opportunity to put her there. Don't believe the lies. We know that a lie will be halfway around the world before the truth can catch up. And so it's important that we make sure that we give her the resources. I've learned the hard way over these last 2 years, Roland, as you know, winning here in Virginia, that they will come with all kinds of lies and attacks to try to keep us from our destiny, to keep us from where we've been. I have been a person who was just as involved, and I had a felony conviction. But I am now the first Black speaker in the 405-year history of Virginia, in the cradle of the Confederacy. So don't tell me what we can't do. When we make up our minds, we put ourselves together and we lead, and we lead and we do the work. I'm so very proud of all of the brothers on this call. We have work to do. It's time to stop talking. My mother used to tell us all the time when my sisters wanted to date somebody, romance without finance is a nuisance. We need to raise the resources so we can make sure that the return that we expect from our government, we have made that investment for those returns. So I'm grateful to be on tonight. I'm thankful to you, Roland and Michael, and all of you guys who did it. did the work this evening. And so I'm just on board. I'm 10 toes down for Kamala and 06 to all the brothers out there. Y'all have a good
All
one.
right, Don, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much. All right, y'all. So Holly Holiday has sent me a text. Win with Black women, they crossed the $2 million threshold. We've already crossed the $1 million threshold in 2 hours. And so, y'all, give secure.actblue.com/donate/TCP-Kamala. Share it on all your social media platforms. Let's make this thing happen. David Johns, you're up. David, you're up. 2 minutes. Go.
Hey, brother. I appreciate you, bro. I got you. I'm thankful for the space and the steadfast leadership of all of my brother organizers. I want to give a special shout out to Brother Quentin James and all of the good brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated on the line. Beloved community, we are so much closer to freedom than we know. When we fight, we win. And by sheer mathematical permutations, those of us who care about democracy, who care about Black people thriving, should win almost every political contest. I'm excited and I want us to keep this energy going. Shout out to our sisters, including Joteka Edie and the Win with Black Women crew for laying the foundation. Let's keep this energy going for Vice President Kamala Harris. Let's put the respect on her name that she deserves, in particular so white people don't go harder with the racism. Let's organize, let's combat misinformation and disinformation. Let's ensure that every member of our beautifully diverse community can vote safely. We got to do it together, right? This is one band, one sound. We can debate policy nuance in private, but we got to remain united in our support in public. Now, here's the last thing I want to say. We got to engage young people. Most of y'all know that I'm honored to have served Barack Hussein Obama, still my president, leading the White House Initiative on Educational Excellence for African Americans, traveling across this country, talking about representing this government on behalf of a Black administration. There's something called the Black effect. It does something to us. Let us not forget the 73% of Gen Z voters who want us to be voting to do more to increase support for the Black community. Let's also not fall for the trap of divide and conquer, that white supremacy stuff. Some of y'all are still uncomfortable saying gay. Some of y'all don't know how to say trans. If you are not comfortable making sure that all of us are free, this is not David Johns, this is Fannie Lou Hamer. None of us are free unless and until all of us are free. So let's do the work to make sure that all of us are free. And that requires us electing Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, our next president. Brothers, we can do this. Let's do it for all of our babies. Heavy emphasis on all.
All right, David. Tell Brittany, bring her ass back in. Okay, she ain't fooling nobody. So
he's in my house. First of all,
I don't care if he in your house.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Brittany Packnett Cunningham. This is my brother. I just wanted to say I was one of the 44,000 last night, have been a part of Win with Black Women since the very beginning. And I just want to say it is beautiful to see our brothers standing up for and with Black women on this evening in public, just like you do all the time, just like y'all do all the time. So we're excited to see all this money you raising going to Sister Vice President Kamala Harris. And we're excited to see all this energy over the next 4 months. Love y'all.
We had one dude on the women's call last night, but Brittany just want to just jump her ass on the call.
Switch it up. We're going to switch. You got to be disruptive. Good.
I'm about to cuss her out on the text. All right, David. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Mondale Robinson, you're up. Let's get to Mondale Robinson, then Cliff Albright.
Roland, what's good, man?
All good. You're on the clock.
Can you hear me, Roland?
Yes,
all
I
right.
can. You're on the clock.
Yo, listen. All right, well, listen. The clock is not as important as me setting the record straight. And let me start by saying that regardless of what anybody tell you, Black men will already guarantee be the second highest voting demographic for Vice President Harris, regardless. Let's just start there. So when people are already talking about what Black men need to do, I think we're already behind the 8 ball on that because we're forgetting all the weight that Black men are carrying. They keep saying we don't do our part, but they forget to tell you that Black men outperformed everybody in Ohio in 2023 for women's right to choose. So when people are talking about black men in this context, I want people to think about what science, not Mundell, not Black Male Voter Project, but what science tells you on how to animate and motivate people to do something and form new habits. So if the new habit we want to form is more black men that don't normally vote to participate in elections, we don't need to be adding negative information about what it means to be black man in the political space. So when people are creating judgment, animosity, or any chaos, you're not doing anything to help the vice president own this extremely important moment. So here's what we need to do. There are 9.6 million black men in this country that are already registered. 9.6 million. Of that 9.6 million, 54% have not voted in any of the last 4 federal elections or only one. That is not a critique of black man. It's a critique of stealth tactics where we blame brothers even when we show up. I've heard people say that black men are not a monolith. We are not a monolith, but we vote monolithic. And we should look at that as a code of honor because it says that we put community, we put people over ourselves, because regardless of where you are geographically, regardless of where you are economically, black men still show up and vote for our community. And if we're not acknowledging that, then we're not going to help brothers form a new habit and crack into that 3.5 million black men who have already registered but not voted in the last 4 federal elections. So Mundell Robinson, speaking on behalf of my organization, Black Male Voter Project, saying that we will do something that we've never done, and we will endorse in this election. And we will endorse Vice President Kamala Harris because it's necessary that black folks show up in a way that says nothing will stand in our way in this moment.
All right. Mundell Robinson, my brother, I appreciate it. Cliff Albright, co-founder of Black Voters Matter, speaking in his personal capacity. Cliff, go.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on, Roland? So glad to be here, y'all. We are having a good time. We got the momentum, y'all. We are well on our way to making sure that Madam Vice President becomes Madam President. We are raising over $1 million. We've got the delegate count that we need, pledged delegates. We got the momentum. So I'm going to share 2 words. Those 2 words are faint not. Why in the midst of all this would I be talking about faint not? Because as an organizer, and those of us who do this work know, not every day is going to feel like today, y'all. Not every day is going to feel like this kind of momentum and this kind of joy. There's going to be some hard days. There's going to be some bad polls, manufactured polls coming out. There's going to be some disinformation coming out about Madam Vice President. There's going to be some hate coming out. There's going to be some donors trying to switch up stuff at the convention. There's going to be some hard days over the next 15 weeks. But I'm going to say it again, faint not, because grow not weary in well-doing. Right. And so my message to us on this call, while we're hyped tonight, let's stay hyped, even on the difficult days. Right. Grow not weary from knocking on those doors. Grow not weary from making those phone calls. Grow not weary from holding up those signs in the streets. Grow not weary in well doing, because in due season we shall reap if we faint not, y'all. If we faint not, we shall reap. And when we reap, we got to reap together, because as my brother just said a few minutes ago, none of us are free till all of us are free. So let's get it done, y'all. We got the momentum. Let's keep it going and faint not.
Love it. Cliff spoke in exactly 1 minute and 30 seconds. My man, I appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. Let's go to Trey Baker, who's working with the not the Biden-Harris campaign, now the Harris for President campaign. Trey, you on the clock.
My man Roland, thank you so much. I want to thank all the organizers, Mike Blake, Quentin James, Khalil, Bakari. Brothers, this is a powerful moment that we're in right now. To have us all together, this is like one big barbershop. The alphas are acting up, but we got enough noobs here to clear all of that nonsense up. I want to tell you, this is day 1 of the Harris for President campaign. She has done so much today. She has gone to headquarters and she's laid out a clear contrast between her and the other guy. She laid out the contrast of the prosecutor versus the criminal. She laid out the contrast of a champion for reproductive rights versus someone who is proud to have done away with Roe versus Wade. She laid out the contrast of a fierce ally of the middle class versus somebody who's into billionaires and tax cuts for those billionaires. And she got the handoff from Joe Biden, who's going to go down as the most consequential president of our lifetime, who appointed this black woman as vice president, who appointed the first black woman Supreme Court justice. And we just appreciate this handoff to this next generation. In one day, She's raised over $81 million, 880,000 new grassroots donors, 28,000 new individual volunteers have come up. So the momentum is here. We are pushing it. People are excited and ready to go. And so what I want to do is draw your attention to the link should be coming up, or the link should be up for you to click on. It's very straightforward. Things haven't changed all the way over yet. It's joebiden.com/volunteer. joebiden.com/volunteer. You can go there and pick out different things that you want to do. So if you want to knock doors, if you want to make calls, if you want to raise money, there are opportunities for all of you brothers here tonight to do something to push this. We are going to win. Kamala Harris is going to win and be the first Black woman president of these United States. And I'm confident that with the Black men that we have in this room, that we're going to be able to push it. Combining that with what Black women did and what Black women always do, I'm very excited about the future. And so I encourage you, go to joebiden.com/volunteer and get involved. There's so many ways to get involved, and we just appreciate you, Roland, for this opportunity. And I'll throw it back over to you, and we're going to get out here and keep doing the work.
All right, my brother, I certainly appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Joe Paul, you're on the clock. I got Joe Paul, then I got Cameron Trimble, I got Commissioner Rodney Ellis, Mandela Barnes, Joshua Dubois, and Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed. Go.
This is 06 to my brothers. Brothers, this is our time. Everything is on the line. This is our lunch counter moment right now. When they look back on this day, this year, this election, they're going to ask, what did Black men do? And we're going to respond enthusiastically. We're going to say Black men voted. Black men showed up and showed out. Black men reclaimed their power. We put our egos and pride of ownership aside to collaborate and ensure we made history, not excuses. They're going to ask, what did Black men do? We're going to answer with pride. We showed up and we had our sister Kamala's back. We championed policies that improved the lives of Black men everywhere and the Black community in general. We showed up and we demanded a Black man on the Supreme Court. We showed up and we demanded jobs and training opportunities for our young brothers. We showed up. Black Men Vote PAC's been on the ground since January, protecting the blue wall states of Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Just this year, we've registered over 60,000 brothers across these battleground states. Our goal is to reach 100K by October. We're going to do it. Through our Shop Talk initiative, we're training barbers to have meaningful conversations. Brothers, this is not just about us. This is for my 2-year-old son asleep upstairs. This is for your young brothers and our young sisters who are counting on us to get this thing right the first time. They're watching, and they need to see that we're willing to stand up for their future. Our actions today will shape our tomorrow. Let's make sure that we leave them a legacy of courage, unity, and progress. Let's show them that Black men stood up and we showed out. We made a difference. Brothers, donate. We need you to give. We need every brother to bring as many Black men to the polls this November. Black Men Vote. Brothers, let's make history, not excuses. Thank you, brothers.
All right, Joe, appreciate it, Frat. Thanks a lot. Let's go to Cameron Trimble, Hip Politics, a former digital engagement director for the Biden-Harris White House. Cameron, you're on the clock. Go. You got Cameron? Cameron, go. Cameron.
Yo.
You're on the clock. Go.
Thank you, Roland. Thank you for putting this together. I'm gonna keep it short and simple. I'm gonna keep it.
Cameron, do this here. Turn the program feed down. Just talk to me on the screen. Turn the program feed down. Just talk to me directly. And in fact, just take your headphones off.
Got it.
Now, just talk.
Thank you, Roland. Coming to you as President.
All right, Cameron, now you hit the mute button. Cameron, you hit your mute button.
We got you. Sorry. Thank you, man.
I was your ass the digital director for the White House, and you can't get your damn computer straight. Man, talk.
Thank you. I'm over here doing this. Yes, Cameron Trimble, former digital engagement director for the Biden-Harris White House. I'm going to keep it short and simple. All of our research, everything is pointing. We as Black men are the #1 target online for disinformation and misinformation. I just wanted to come on and give some quick shares, 3 quick to-dos, 3 quick do nots, because the collective power here, while we have our financial and voting power, this online battlefield for misinformation and disinformation to reduce our numbers by just a little bit is going to make the difference in so many states. We need you, one, share your content loudly and online. We are trying to create online permission structures for brothers who are not politically involved to make sure they feel comfortable sharing their support. Engage with positive Harris content only. If you see negative content, do not comment, do not like, do not share. It feeds the algorithm. It keeps negative content going online. Number one thing, please only share factual government or trusted sources on voting locations and polling locations. We are getting a ton of information that there will be misinformation around polling locations and places to vote. So please do not share that. Do not engage with negative content. Do not amplify information that is not from a trusted source. And please do not believe everything you see. There is going to be so much happening online. So please make sure you're sharing loudly and proudly for Kamala Harris for president. Hit politics. Thanks, Roland.
There you go. You talked in 1 minute and 58 seconds until after we had to go through all them damn technical issues. All right, Cameron, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Let's go to Houston, Texas. Harris County Commissioner Rodney Ellis.
Roland, thank you.
This dude y'all ever seen.
Roland, thank you for doing this. And I want to thank Michael Blake, Khalil, Bakari, and Quentin, and of course, Vince Evans, who gave me a call. He was on the vice president's staff when she was in the Senate. Look, I want this race to be successful because, Roland, I'm so tired of being embarrassed to say I'm from Texas. You know, this is not a red state. It's a blue state that does not vote. And I think with Kamala Harris at the top of this ticket, you're going to see a change. And next go around, if we don't get it this go around, next go around, people are going to say Texas, of all places, is a swing state. Vince wanted me to mention how long I've known her. I've got the privilege of being able to say that I wrote a check to her first campaign for district attorney in California. She took on the incumbent who she worked for. She won. She did a great job as DA. When she decided to run for attorney general in California, the second largest justice department in the country. And being from Northern California, from Oakland, you would have thought Southern California, where more of the votes are, had an advantage. She won that race. She decided to run for U.S. Senate, raised an unprecedented amount of money. She has earned the right to be president of the United States of America. Roland, I'm excited. I wrote a check. I want to stay on this line because it's important for Black men to stop all of that BS, all of that talk. I remember when Maynard Jackson was leaving and Andy Young was running the first time, some of those folks who were on the other side, Maynard had a phrase for them, shuffling and grinning. And on the other side, they're going to have a few shuffling and grinning people saying she has a problem with Black men. Nothing could be more ridiculous. And to show that we raised over $1 million, I hope we surpass what our sisters did. So, brothers, I wrote a check earlier. I wrote one of the checks the first time she ran. I'm going to write another check. So I'm going to end my comments, and I want everybody else who's still on this line. You wrote a check, write another one. Thank you, Roland.